Welcome back, guys. I'm Zell, and today we've got something new from CRKT to look at. It's the Tighe Tac Two clip point. And as we get a look at it, we can see we've got glass reinforced nylon handles, and they've got Brian Tighe's kind of signature design to them. They have a lanyard hole, standard torque screw construction, stylized pivot screw. I don't know if that was such a good choice for CRKT. They may not have even realized it, but it does have kind of the appearance of an iron cross, and that's great here in the US. No one really has any problem with that, but some places overseas, that holds some stigma, so I don't know if it was the greatest choice. And it is a button lock. We'll get into that here in a minute. As we roll it on over, we can see we got some nicely cut pillars in there. And we've got the flipper here, and it's not got any jimping whatsoever on either side. However, whenever you get your finger on it, it works great. Not necessary. The jimping is not necessary. And on here on the other side of the knife, we have our only spot for the pocket clip. It is tip up, right hand carry only. That's kind of a bum deal. I'd like to see right or left hand carry at least in the tip up position, but CRKT has chosen not to do that here. As we roll it on around, the blade is well centered. Looks really good. Now here comes the really good part of this knife. It flips really well. Push down on this button lock and it closes really well. Now this knife is brand new. It just came out of the box last night, and it already works as well or better as, say, a Benchmade right out of the box. So CRKT has done a really good job there. Whenever we get a look at our blade, we have 8CR13 MOV, and CRKT says they're putting it between 58 and 60 hardness, and I really wish I was going to get a chance to put this blade to use, sharpen it up and put it to good use. Unfortunately, I'm not going to, and I'll explain why here in just a second, but I just want you to look at this grind. I mean, it's a hollow grind, and it is just gorgeous the way they've done this. They've swedged the top on both sides. Comes to a nice diamond, but still leaves enough thickness there at the tip that we should have a pretty strong tip on this knife. Whenever we get down to the ergonomics, they've done a pretty darn good job. You know, with my hand, this little rib right here initially felt like a problem, but with a little bit of handling, it's really nice, and there's no jimping whatsoever on this knife. However, the way you get your hand around it, I don't think it's necessary. You have a nice wide flat spot all the way up to this kind of a thumb ramp here, and it's just comfortable. Whenever you get it in a pinch grip, you have these large pivot screw heads that work really well. It just they've just done a good job, even with the highly stylized Brian Tighe design here. You know, overall, it's just a beautiful knife. You know, this is one of those knives I wish we could get in a production model that had, you know, some better steel in it. You know, maybe some better materials, some G10 or something of that sort. Because that's the one place that I am going to kind of knock CRKT. We're looking at a list price of $59 and a street price of about $40. And that's not way out of line, but whenever you're competing with the likes of Kershaw and Bird, that's getting up there, because if we go to Bird, we can get the Raven 2. It's a bigger, heavier knife by quite a bit, but $42, and we're getting that CTS BD1 steel. If we go over to Kershaw, by the time we get to $40, we're starting to break into some of their US made stuff. 420HC, and the Sandvik steels. So a little pricey, but what you're doing is you're spending that money to get the action here, because that action is just beautiful. And like I said, CRKT is showing the 8CR13 MOV at a higher hardness than what we're used to seeing. So I would really like to get a chance to try it out. However, I'm not going to. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to put a card up here in just a moment. It's got all the specs on this knife. It'll stay up there for about 5 seconds, so you can stop on it and read off all the numbers and do whatever you need to with them, screenshot it or whatever. But I am not going to get to use this knife because whenever it arrived, this crack right here was in the knife. Now, I called CRKT. CRKT is going to take care of me with no issue. However, I'm not going to be able to get another one of these knives because their next shipment is not for a couple of months. You know, that's one reason we're doing the video, and the knife isn't right, because I really wanted to get you guys an opportunity to see this thing, because whenever it does make it general availability, I really think it's going to be a good one for CRKT. I think it's a little pricey, but you know, it's one of those deals. You're trading a little bit of steel quality, a little bit of handle quality for a pretty incredible action for a knife at less than $50. You know, I would like to have some time to check out that button lock and see if that button lock really is nice and sturdy. You know, I kind of think it is, but I won't know for sure till I've had some time with one. And hopefully I will get some time with one in a couple of months. But for right now, guys, I'm going to have to send it back to CRKT. I'll put that spec card up at the end of the video. But I really appreciate you guys dropping by, hang out with me for a few minutes, and get a look at this rather nice knife from CRKT. I really wish the handle hadn't been broken, but you know, those things happen, and CRKT is going to take care of me. In fact, because of the lead time getting another one of these, we're going to have a different CRKT knife to look at here in a few weeks. And that one is coming straight from CRKT, and it should be in good shape, so we'll be able to do a full review of it. Anyhow, guys, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.